Good morning, everyone. Well, it's morning for me while I'm recording it anyway. It's Wednesday. I did not put up a video yesterday. I had a lot of stuff. Oh my God, it's Thursday, number one. Apparently, I should have had more coffee before I started this video. I am trying to get some videos up this week. I think Tuesday was the first day I put something up, and that threw me off to me in my head just now. That was Monday. Which these are things that happen. I'm exhausted. These last few weeks have been very busy for me. I mean, I'm sure not busy for normal people, but busy for me. It doesn't take a lot. And Tuesday was especially exhausting. That's why I didn't post yesterday. And I had some stuff I had to do yesterday that, I mean, all I had to do was take my daughter to her doctor's appointment. I think I had to do a load of laundry. And there's a couple other things I took care of, but it wasn't a crazy day, honestly. I'm just exhausted. And this is part of what comes along with the hours. It's not super fun. This is one of the reasons I don't work. I barely even keep my eyes open. And I slept 9 hours, slept 9.5 hours last night. So anyway, what I wanted to do for today's video was talk a little bit more about the very start of when I got sick. I want to try to keep this under 10 minutes today so people can watch, just to give people an idea of what people go through. And if you're going through it yourself, some ideas of some things maybe you can do to help yourself and, think about it. I mean, when I got sick, I was very lucky in the fact that I was a nurse. I was very lucky in the fact that I had medical training. My grandmother was a nurse. My mother was a medical technologist for years. Like, I had lots of friends that were nurses. I had lots of friends that were doctors. And I had a few friends that were already disabled that I could use as resources. So one of the things they teach us in nursing school is utilize your resources. If you don't have a piece of knowledge, figure out how you can get it and figure out how you can get it accurately. Okay. WebMD is great if you know what you're reading, okay? And it's great if you know what you're talking about, but when a regular person Googles something and uses Wikipedia, or Googles something and uses something like WebMD, you don't know what you're reading, and it's not, necessarily what is accurate in an assessment. So I'm very lucky in the fact that I was a critical care nurse. You have to have very good assessment skills. You have to have a lot of knowledge about the body to do any type of nursing, mostly. I had also done rapid response for 2 years. So I worked in the ED, some things like that. And I knew a bunch of doctors. I knew a bunch of nurses. I knew a bunch of stuff. So anyway, I was lucky in that fact. The parts that I didn't know about, or what to do when you needed assistances with things, or when I went that 6 months without without any kind of pay, and things like that. And that stuff was really, really hard to figure out, and not hard to figure out, but it's a pain. And at the time, I was still really sick. I was still having a really hard time breathing. I could barely even focus because all my focus was on my breathing. If you've ever had trouble breathing for any reason, if you've ever been out of breath for any reason, I want you to think about how you feel when you are super out of breath. And can you do something else? Because that was me all the time. So it was really tough. And here I am trying to figure out, how do I get my bills paid when there's, just one paycheck coming in that was not significant enough anymore. We have our lifestyles set up for the paychecks that we bring home. And as a nurse who worked a lot of overtime, our bills were set up for a pretty significant income for most people and, most regular people. And when all of a sudden you don't have any income coming in, you're screwed real quick, especially when I even forgot to contact some of my, bills and creditors to let them know that I was sick. If you do that, there are things that you can do. Like, if you could do that, a lot of times they'll put things on hold for you. They'll work with you. I couldn't even do that. I forgot. Even now, I have list upon list upon list upon list upon reminder upon reminder upon, and I was still half an hour late for my daughter's doctor's appointment yesterday. I had it in my head. It was at 11:45. It was at 11:15. Thank God the doctor was very generous and saw us anyway. But stuff like that happens. I planned my whole day so that I could be there on time. I actually was around the corner from the doctor's office, hanging out at a friend's business, waiting because I was a half an hour early. I would have been on time. Stuff like that happens to me now. I was never like that. I was never late for stuff. I mean, if I was late for stuff, it wasn't my fault. I can tell you right now. I mean, you talk to any of my friends or people, you want to talk about being a planner. I've always been a planner. My dad was an engineer. I was an engineering student for a little while. You got to learn how to time manage. Even nursing, you got to learn how to time manage and plan. Same with critical care nursing, because you never know when an emergency can happen. So you have to be prepared at all times. So luckily, my background and my education helped me a lot. And I'm already getting lengthy because I'm mouthy and talkative. So anyway, when I very first got sick, I just thought it was a cold. I just thought I was going to have, it was another, it was right around Thanksgiving, which is a time of year that my asthma tends to act up. And that almost my entire life when my asthma has been active, I have gotten nasty colds and needed prednisone or something. So it was nothing unusual. I really didn't think anything was going on other than that. It wasn't until the dizziness and the chest pain and the fatigue and the prednisone was not helping. So prednisone is something that they put you on when you have trouble breathing, or if you have a major allergic reaction to something, like if you've ever had poison ivy or something like that, they'll put you on prednisone. Or if you've ever had a sports injury, they give you cortisone shots. It's a type of anti-inflammatory. It's a type of steroid, which is what prednisone is. So sorry, my back is killing me. This is some of the things from the Ehlers. So specifically in the Ehlers, medical journals that I've been reading, prednisone is like one of the worst things you can give people with Ehlers. And I've been taking it my whole life for my asthma because my asthma wasn't so bad I've needed it. But this time it wasn't the asthma. Maybe it was a little bit, but really it was the Ehlers in the end that is what disabled me and that took me out from everything. And we didn't know that. I mean, even then, it was 2015 when I got sick. And the new guidelines and this medical journal that I've been reading didn't come out till February of 2017. It's only been out a year and a half. So my doctors weren't really looking for this. This is not a normal thing. This is not, so in my doctor's defense, because they're great doctors, so they did all the tests they could do, and they're focusing on my breathing, of course, because my breathing is what is bad, and nothing's coming back with any abnormal results. They tried everything. I even went to Boston to a specialist who did a heart catheterization on me. So, and at the end of that appointment, he looked at me and he told me that he thought it might be my body habitus, which means I was fat. That might have been my breathing issues. And I was a little out of it. They had given me some stuff for the procedure. I mean, they don't stick, large tubes and catheters down into your heart without giving you a little something to help you relax. My mom almost came out of her chair. She bit her tongue and didn't say anything. And we talked about it on the way home, and we were both floored. He didn't know me before I got sick. I understand I was big at that point. I gained a lot of weight really fast. I was on high-dose prednisone for almost a month before the doctors were like, all right, clearly the prednisone isn't working. We're going to take you off of it, because it was making me very heavy. I also went from extremely active to completely sedentary because I couldn't breathe and move. I gained almost, I think, 40 pounds in those first 4 months. So when the doctor's seeing me, I am 220 plus pounds at 5'8", which isn't huge, but it's big. But it wasn't my, 180 from when I get sick either, which I'm even less than now, thankfully, with a lot of hard work. And he's telling me I'm fat. I know damn well I'm big right now. I'm big because I'm sick, but he doesn't get that. And that's not how he was treating me. So I fired his ass. I went back to my regular pulmonologist. I told him what he said. Now, my regular pulmonologist, like I've said before, was a friend and a colleague. And he went, oh my God, did he really say it? I said, yeah, he did. Now, most people probably would have went home just feeling like crap about themselves. I felt like crap already about my weight, not because I think that that's, if you're overweight, you're overweight. And if you can't help it, or it is what it is. But for me, for my body, I already knew I was overweight. I couldn't fit in any of my clothes, and I couldn't afford to buy any new ones because I wasn't working. I could barely do anything. I felt horrible about myself already. I didn't need a doctor to tell me to feel horrible about myself. I mean, and I don't think that's how he meant for it to come off. It was just unmindful of him. Now, a lot of people may have given up and laid down at that point. A lot of people might have said, oh, well, they can't find anything wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. Because I've been through testing and testing and testing. I've been through months. Now, this guy is world renowned, this doctor that I saw. And I'm not going to use his name because I'm not going to slam anybody. I understand from his viewpoint why he might have thought that. When I went to go see the next specialist in Boston, I took pictures of myself from before I got sick, and explained to them that, I understand that we're having difficulty finding what's going on, but this was me before I got sick. This was me when I got sick. So if we're going to talk about it's because I'm fat, we're going to have an issue, just so you know. So that's, when they did the cardiopulmonary stress test and found out that my lung reserve, even 9 months after, was the 6%, which I've talked about what that means before. It means that my body was acting as though I was doing a extreme physical workout the moment I started moving. That's the easiest and quickest way for me to explain it for the people who haven't watched other videos. If you haven't watched the other videos, watch them. It helps because this is kind of like a timeline thing. So, trying to be anyway, tend to get a little... I'm going to tell a story and you're going to get 15 off stories before you get the whole one. Sorry. But a lot of people who go through stuff like this, we already feel like crap. Like I've already gone from, I said in my last video, from super mom and I wasn't super disabled mom yet. I was just a disabled mom, and I was sad and I was hurting, and I couldn't breathe and do anything. My kids weren't getting the full me that they could get. I was trying. My husband wasn't getting the full me that he could get. I was trying. And with all these tests coming back negative, and with all this stuff and not finding any reasons and not really making any progress for a long time, everyone's now getting frustrated. And I think, a little bit was it in my head because I was sad and not maybe taking care of myself in the absolute best manner that I could. Yeah, it was. Was I really trying though? Yeah, I was. I was doing my best. And you know what? I don't think everybody thought that I was. I know everybody didn't think that I was. But I was. And it wasn't until I got into therapy and I realized that some of my behaviors and some of the way I was still treating my body were not true to what I needed to do, and started loving myself again despite my disability. And despite not being able to be a nurse, and despite not being able to be super mom, and despite not being able to work, because I was a worker. So it was really hard to lose that identity. It was really hard to re-love myself for who I am now and accept the fact that I have major limitations. And I can't tell anybody else how to do that. I don't have a magic pill. I don't take any meds for depression. I don't take any meds for anxiety. I never did. In fact, I was, and I'm going to be honest about this, I was on Prozac when I first moved 100 miles away from my family and friends, because I felt very isolated. And we tried to increase them when I first got sick to try to help me. And it made me worse. So I came off them completely within 2 months of being being disabled. Because I didn't feel like they were helping at all. Because, everything works differently for everyone. And I was on the absolute lowest dose. And then bumped up to just a slightly higher dose than that. I didn't go crazy with it. I'm very fortunate in the fact that, do I have situational depression? Yes, I do. Do I have situational anxiety? Yes, I do. I need my space clean. I need to know that things are taken care of. I need to know there are plans to take care of things. I like to have contingency plans to take care of things. I can even overdo it. Like this video is supposed to be under 10 minutes. We're already at 15. But anyway, trying to keep it short. I'm very lucky in the fact that I am able to curve those things and have learned ways to think and ways to treat myself and ways to do things so that I don't require medications for any of those things. The only things I require medications for are my asthma, I take something else for urinary issue, and I take like vitamin C, zinc, turmeric, because that's supposed to help with the inflammatory processes, things like that. I do a lot of other things that help me control other things now. Like I said, just a way of thinking helps a lot. If someone is rude to me, if someone makes a rude comment, if someone is disagreeable, or I try to understand that they may be having a bad day. I try to understand that, it's not me. I try not to take it personally. I try very hard to see things from other people's point of views so that I can have some respect for how they're feeling too, because I know that I'm not always perfect, because I'm a human too. And then I'm going to have days where I'm probably seem rude, and it's not because I mean to, or I probably seem, off, and it's not because I mean to, it's just because of other things. So, that has helped me a lot. Trying communication has helped me a lot. And I truly know that every day I get up and I do my best. And I know that on the days that I can't do, that it's okay, because it's not because I don't want to. It's because my body won't let me. And being angry at my body about that doesn't make my body do it any better. So I want to end this now. That's, like I said, the very brief version even of the things that I'd gone through, even just the first year of my illness. I haven't even gotten into getting services and things like that. I will get into that tomorrow. What that felt like, what that process was like, because I think it's important. I mean, why I wanted to do this YouTube page, I have a support group that I run already on Facebook for people who want to be in it, that just need help getting through things, and positivity, and some ideas about how to think about themselves and how to hold space for others and things like that. Or if they are having trouble with some of the same things I've gone through, advice there. But this, I wanted to educate the public too, and maybe help some people that are going through some things that I've gone through, to see what we go through and how hard it is for us to stay functioning members of society when everyone is telling us everything we're doing is wrong, and everyone is telling us everything we're doing is in our heads, and everyone is taking it personally because we're hurting. And becoming angry with us and distancing themselves instead of holding space and helping us. That's really hard. And, not everyone in my life did that, because I had been surrounded by people who were like-minded like me, that knew that that was not who I was as a person, and knew that it was because I was hurting. And thank God that love me still now. And have gotten this even better version of me. So, like I said, I wanted to keep this under 10 minutes. I got to at least keep it under 20. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I will talk more in the future. I'm going to say it again. If someone around you is hurting, don't be an asshole. Hold space for them. Ask them how you can help them get themselves better. Learn what is going on with them so that you can help them in the best manner that you can. But remember that they have to be ready and willing to do it themselves. You cannot make them. And don't take that personally, because it has nothing to do with you. So don't be an asshole. And if you're the one going through it, start taking some accountability and some responsibility for your actions. Are you maybe being an asshole? Are you maybe being an asshole to the people who love you the most because you're hurting? And have you not asked for help? And if you are getting help, is that help working? Because if it's not, get new help. Don't be an asshole. That might be my catchphrase. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful Thursday. I have a lot of stuff I got to do today. For me, again, like I said, a lot of stuff for me. It's not probably a lot of stuff for other people. But I'm already exhausted, and the coffee is not working today. So, I'm supposed to say all the things like share, comment, tell your friends, subscribe, do the things. I just have a wonderful day, and try to hold some space for yourself. Try to hold some space for other people. And hopefully tomorrow I will be able to be here again. I will try. It doesn't, it's another thing. So love you all. Love and light. Have a wonderful day. Bye.